When you think about Canada, which are the first few things comes to your mind? Maybe we'll think of the natural beauty, or the maple syrup, or the sports ice hockey, or may even Justin Bieber. So let's see what are the 10 main things you should know before coming to Canada. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Joy and today I'll talk about 10 main things you should know before you coming to Canada. The first thing I'll talk about is the weather. Canada has 4 distinct seasons and the weather can be very greatly depend on where you are in the country. Winter are generally cold and snowy, which summers can be hot and humid. It's important to research the weather in the area you are visiting or living in and dress accordingly. You know, some winters are very harsh, like in some parts of Canada the weather is so bad, like in winters it gets very snowy, and for example like in Winnipeg more than -50. So you have to check the weather before you go out. The second thing I'll talk about is the language. Canada has 2 official languages, that is French and English. The main language is English, while English is spoken widely across the Canada. Especially in major cities, some regions, particularly in Quebec, speaks French. Knowing some basic French phrases can be helpful, but it's not necessary to be fluent. The third thing I'll talk about the Canadian currency. So the official currency of Canada is Canadian dollar. It is important to familiarize yourself with the exchange rate and have some cash on hand for small transactions. Credit and debit cards are widely accepted in Canada, but it's always a good idea to carry cash as well. So the fourth point I'll talk about is the healthcare system in Canada. Canada has publicly funded healthcare system that provides basic medical service to all residents. Visitors to Canada are not covered by the system, so it's important to have a travel insurance to cover any medical expenses that may arise during your stay. Usually if you are working somewhere or you're coming to Canada as a student, then the healthcare facilities are covered by the companies. Like if you are going to a college, then college will cover your healthcare insurance, or if you're working, then the company will cover your healthcare insurance. The fifth one I'll talk about is the diversity of Canada. Canada is a multicultural country with people from many backgrounds and cultures. It's important to be respectful of this diversity to learn about the customs and traditions of the people you may encounter. The sixth point I'll talk about is a little bit uncommon in different part of the world, but in Canada this thing is very important. Like if you're going to restaurant, you need to tip. The sixth point I'll talk about is the tipping culture in Canada. Tipping is a common practice in Canada and it's customary to leave a gratitude of 15 to 20% for service such as restaurants, hairdressers, or it can be a taxi driver. So next time when you are going to a restaurant or to a hairdresser, make sure you tip someone like 15 to 20%, because in Canada this thing is a very emotional thing. If you don't tip, people feel like they don't like your services. The seventh point I'll talk about is the time zone in Canada. Canada spans 6 time zones, from Newfoundland in the east to the British Columbia in the west. It is important to be aware of time difference when traveling across the world. Next point I'll talk about the safety of Canada. Generally than other countries, Canada is known as the safest country in the world. But it's always a good idea to take basic safety precautions such as keeping valuable out of sights and stay aware of your surroundings. But as you know, like in Canada also there are crime rates increasing day by day, so make sure you stay aware of people who makes trouble and be safe. And the next point I'll talk about the transport system in Canada. Canada has a variety of transport options including bus, trains and planes. It's important to research the transportation option in the area you will be visiting or living and plan accordingly. Like if you are living in Toronto, there are a lot of TTC services which are available near you. But if you go far from Toronto, then it will be harder to find public transits. And the last point I'll talk about the nature, the beauty of Canada. Canada is known for its beautiful landscapes, from the Rocky Mountain to the Northern Lights. It's important to respect these natural environments and follow any rules or guidelines put in place to protect them. If you are coming to Canada, you shouldn't miss these 10 spots I'm going to talk about right now. The first one is Niagara Falls in Ontario. The second one is Banff National Park, which is located at Alberta. third one is Aurora Borealis, which is in Manitoba. The fourth one is Cabot Trails, which is in Nova Scotia. And the fifth one is Great Bear Rainforest, which is in British Columbia. If you are coming to Canada, make sure you visit these 5 places because the nature of Canada is beautiful. So that's it for today. If you think the video was helpful for you, then make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel if you are new, and see you in the next video. Peace.